Hello everyone and welcome to Chris Price's Mind Night of Compulsion. Thanks to Theater Arts, it's our class project. Thank you Mason Grove for letting us have our show here. Currently we're going to start my show, which is Impulse. So if you like, there's a cast list up there. Chris and I posted up there. There will be a 10-minute intermission, just to let you know, after my show, and then we'll do Chris Price's show, Living Mad. In case of a fire, we would exit this way, and there was one through the curtain all the way in the back. And also, please turn off your cell phones. So thank you for coming, and I hope you enjoy the show.
I wish I had muscles. That I was built, that I wasn't big.
I wish I had control, that I was going deeper and deeper, that I could feel.
I wish I wasn't a disappointment, that I didn't lie, that I was healthy. I wish I could fight back, that I wasn't afraid, and that I had a friend.
I wish I wasn't in pain, that I wasn't dying, that I just had more time.
I wish.
Hey, my name's Peyton. I'm 21 years old and I attend the University of Florida, where I study communications and English. I'm also the president of my school's slam poetry club, and we go to different schools and compete nationwide. Everything in my life seems perfect, but it's not. Growing up, I was always the biggest kid in my class, and I could always remember the other kids in my grade just calling me names, saying things like,
Fatty.
Ugly. Disgusting.
Gross.
it always hurt. Everyone just staring at me as I walked through the hallway. I felt disgusting. So whenever I saw food or got the urge to eat, I would just go run and do push-ups. I wanted to be thin, but most importantly, I just wanted to be noticed. So I started going to the gym every day, and I was doing a pretty good job. I kept track of everything that I ate. I went from 3 meals a day down to 1. And I guess I started making progress because when I got back to school, everyone would say,
Hey, looking great. Did you lose weight?
Wow, you look different.
Oh my God, you look so beautiful.
beautiful. I didn't feel beautiful. With all the compliments, I kept telling myself that I could gain weight and grow more muscle. So I started not to eat anything at all. I mean, whenever I got dizzy, I would grab soda or candy just so I wouldn't pass out. But it got to the point where I couldn't walk anymore. I had no energy and everything just hurt. It hurt to sit. It hurt to pick up my pen and write. It even hurt to think. So after a while, my parents started to get concerned. And they brought me to the doctors, and the doctor brought me straight to the hospital. When I got there, they just kept poking me with things and sticking IVs in me. And then they just started asking me questions like,
When was the last time you ate?
How often do you eat? Do you force yourself to throw up?
Why are you doing this?
it was at that point that I realized I knew. I felt embarrassed and ashamed. And the one image that stuck in my head was just looking at my mom. And she just kept crying. Saying things like,
How did I not know? What did I do wrong? Why didn't you say something?
It's all my fault. I should have known.
and my pops just stood there and stared at me. At that point, all I wanted to do was run and hide. The doctor suggested I should check into a mental hospital, but I didn't want to. At that point, I was just too mad, and I just kept thinking,
Why should I go?
Do they think I'm crazy? Do I really have a problem?
How is this going to help me?
So eventually, the doctor forced me to go to rehab. I stayed there about 2 weeks, and they sent me home with a new plan to tackle life. That didn't work out too well. When I got home, my parents forced me to eat everything. They wouldn't let me leave until everything on my plate was gone. I hated it, but I also just wanted to make them proud. So to please them, I'll just eat everything I got my eyes on, just chips laying around the house, or my mom's oatmeal cookies, or maybe even the pizza left over from the movie nights. Pretty much ate anything I could eat. I would just eat and watch movies for hours and hours. And I would just sit and eat. And I would eat until I got sick, and I would make sure I got sick. So I would go upstairs to the bathroom and lock the door, turn the shower on, and I would force myself to throw up. I just wanted to be skinny and feel good about myself. So then I realized I had to hide it better. So I learned a few things. Like, for instance, to stay away from sticky foods like peanut butter, because it would just get stuck to the top of my mouth, and use chopsticks instead of my fingers because it would reach farther down my throat. But one day I went to the mall, and I saw this girl getting picked on by a bunch of kids because of her weight. And I looked at the situation like, nah, I can't let this happen. So I walk over to the kids, and I just tell them to leave her alone. So they run away, and I sat down next to the little girl, to comfort her. And I told her, don't listen to anything that they say. She said,
I don't. I know I'm the biggest girl in my class, but they can say what they want. Let them make fun of me, let them laugh at me. I don't care. One day, I'll be a beautiful swan and I'll be the one laughing.
it was at that point I realized I wasn't okay. I was hurting not just myself, but the people around me, like my friends and my family. been 2 weeks now. I'm okay, I guess. I haven't thrown up in those 2 weeks. Some days I just don't want to eat at all. I miss that emptiness. And some days I wake up and just eat everything in sight. You know, I want to have that control to throw up again. But I won't. I want to be fit. And I want to be skinny. But most importantly, I want to be beautiful.
I want to be whole, to be proud, to be successful.
I want my life back. To be strong, to be independent. I want to be held, to be loved, and to be able to forgive.
I want a chance to make my own choices, to help others.
I want to be toned, to be appealing, to be handsome.
Aloha. My name's Dakota. I'm 20 years old. I'm studying marine biology at Hawaii Pacific University. I'm a junior. I have a 4.0 GPA and a list every semester. I was the captain of my school's dance team. I've placed first in many competitions. I've traveled all around the world. I've even traveled to
New York, Chicago,
France,
Japan.
and even Russia. But everything I did, I had to be the best at. I wanted to succeed at. I would watch other people's routines and think how elegant they looked, how effortless. But when it was my turn, I just felt like everyone was just staring at me. Like everyone was laughing at me, pointing out every single thing that I did wrong. I kept telling myself,
Your hair at best must be stronger.
Point your toes more. Oh, your part of where needs work.
Keep turning. Don't stop. Don't get dizzy. Focus.
if I didn't win, I would go to the practice room and do my routine over and over again until it was perfect. I had to be the best. I had to prove to everyone that I could win, that I was perfect, that I was special. I wanted to be the one that everyone looked at, that everyone was amazed by, but in reality, I'm nothing special. I'm just a loser who can't remember her steps. I'm just that idiot who blinks on stage. I knew I was never going to be that dancer on Broadway or that Radio City Rocket. And I just got deeper and deeper into this cycle.
I wish, I want.
I desire.
I need.
I can't. I would go to school, do work, go to practice, go to bed, and do the same thing the next day. Every day the same as before, nothing new, nothing different. But I wanted to feel something. I wanted to be happy or sad or angry or anything. So one night I was doing my homework, I was flipping through a textbook and I accidentally got a paper cut on my arm. I remember the way the blood felt rush all the way down to my index finger. For the first time in a while, I felt something. I felt pain. So I grabbed the nearby scissors, and for the first time in my life, I felt relieved. Relieved that this pressure subsided, relieved that I had control, relieved that I felt alive. But I started off with one, and then I just kept doing it again and again to get that same feeling. But then, of course, people started to notice, people started to ask questions, so of course I became more self-conscious. I started in other places, my thighs, my stomach, to hide the pain, the hurt. I even started making excuses like,
My cat scratched me. Oh, I got a paper cut.
Oh, you know, it was just itchy, so I scratched it.
none of it was true. And it started to get worse. I would hide rubbing alcohol in a water bottle and lock up all my razor, scissors, and blades so that no one could find them. And I even started a blog. I would take pictures and post how I was feeling online. It was like my own online personal diary. And I would read other people's blogs too, but the more I read, the more I saw, the more I had to do it. So I would start pushing deeper and deeper to remind me that I was still alive, that I wasn't dead yet. Well, one day my parents, they came to school, they came to visit me. They were waiting outside my dorm. I was about to run up to them, but before I did, I saw the pain in their faces. My mom couldn't even look at me. And my dad told me how my roommate saw my blog and she told them. Why? I don't understand why my roommate had to know, why my parents had to find out. It was my secret to keep. It was then that they took me to the doctors and told me that I was suffering from a mental disease. It's been 5 days since I last, medication now. But I'm starting to feel things again. For the first time in my life, I actually found myself happy. I saw a butterfly outside my window the other day, and it actually made me happy. It gave me hope that maybe one day I too can fly away and be free. I am hooked, obsessed, dependent, attached.
I am suffering, tormented, tortured, and self-destructive.
I am petrified, frightened, nervous, free.
I am disgusting, repulsive, hideous, ugly.
I am broken, torn, damaged, shattered. Greetings. My name is Taylor. I am a sports management major at the University of Connecticut. I just turned 22. I did a lot of things at my university.
I was captain of the basketball team. I have had a wonderful sports scholarship that let me go to school for free. I was popular. Everybody wants to be best friends with the star basketball player, but I didn't have a lot of true friends. But I did find the love of my life, so I guess you could say I was living the dream. But then I made one mistake and everything fell to pieces. During my sophomore year of college, I decided to go to a party. It was at my friend's house. I don't normally go to parties, it's not really my thing, but for some reason I decided to go to this one. At the party, everyone was plastered. Drinks were falling over, everyone was spilling. I was really not having a lot of fun. I was actually just about to leave the party when my friend came up.
You think so soon?
Yeah, I'm just not really having a lot of fun.
Oh no! I know I didn't hear somebody say they're not having fun. Here, take this.
That's good. Yeah. That's great, bro.
What?
You know, like gecko, chubbies. It's that.
Oh, no thanks.
Come on, just try it. Stop being such a pussy.
Dude, trust me. Try it. Try it.
Yeah, you will like it.
What's it do?
It makes me happy. You're gonna feel so confident and energetic after you take it.
Just try it.
I wish I didn't try it that night. I wish I would have just said no. But I did try it. It made me feel so good. The initial rush was amazing. It made me feel as if I was smarter and able to say all the things I was actually feeling without being afraid. It made me feel like a superhero. It made me feel as if I could do anything and everything I ever wanted to. It made me feel like I could drink and try things and... It started out as an occasional thing, but then my need got worse. That little hit I used to take started to not affect me as much. I started getting this dark pit in my stomach and this really intense craving. I needed it. I had to have it. If not, I felt as if these bugs were crawling under my skin. I couldn't sleep at night. I started to hear and see things. I saw my dead grandmother once, sitting next to me in bed, just staring at me. Looking at me as if I were doing something wrong, as if I were this horrible grandchild, this horrible person. After coming off the high, I would feel emotionally drained. I couldn't do anything. All I wanted to do was sleep. I couldn't take it anymore. I had to get more. I started stealing from the love of my life. I took over $1,000 to feed my addiction. It wasn't long after that the love of my life left me. I was so heartbroken that I started injecting it. It allowed me to get high faster and numb all the pain I was feeling. I stopped going to classes. I would constantly get in fights with my parents and roommates. I needed that rush. One night I was walking home from a party and a cop pulled me over. He ended up taking me in for possession. Thankfully, they let me go because I had no priors, but my parents did drive all the way up to take me home. I remember the looks on their faces, and it killed me. I could see the disappointment, and they were the last people I ever wanted to disappoint. It wasn't until that night I realized I had a problem. I remember thinking to myself, how could I have ended up here? How could the star basketball player have ended up here? I remember that car ride home like it was yesterday.
Taylor,
Look, I'm sorry.
Why did you ask us for help?
why did you tell us?
How could I? You wouldn't understand. I am dependent on this drug. I need this drug. Without it, I feel like the crashing is unbearable and I feel like I'm lost and panicky. I start seeing things. I saw Grandma once.
Taylor!
And
Grandma's dead.
I know.
Look, we want to help you.
Please let us help you.
It's been about 5 months since my last funeral. The journey has been horrible and rough, to say the least. The crashing and withdrawal are unbearable. I feel as if I've lost all of my energy and any ability to feel pleasure. I feel as if I'm dying. All of the hot and cold flashes, the constant shaking, the cravings, that's the worst part, the cravings. Every day I think to myself, how easy would it be if I just took one more hit, just one? But I won't. I can't go back to where I was. I can't go back to being the person I was. I can't listen to my impulse to give in. I need to overcome this monster.
I desire to be sheltered, be protected, and safe.
For a chance. For a life. After.
To be lean, to feel accomplished, to just be okay.
To be normal, to be a butterfly, to be free.
To be clean, to have strength, to be emotionally healthy.
Hi, my name's Bailey, 21 years old. I'm a student at NYU studying theater arts. I'm the producer of one of the theater companies on campus. I've done so many shows and I've met so many people. People look up to me and they want to follow my footsteps. But how can someone who's so successful feel like I do? Alone. It all started when I was a kid. I had a wonderful life. My parents got along, my younger sister and I got along, and everything was wonderful. But then, our dad died. He passed away from metastatic brain hemorrhage. I was the last one to speak to him. I remember that day so well.
Honey, what are you doing up?
I couldn't sleep.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, I just couldn't go back to sleep and I heard some noises.
I was taking some notes before I go to work.
When are you coming home?
I'll be home early today. You can even make the pizza you like. Alright, have a good day at school. Love you.
Love you. That was the last time that I truly believed that somebody loved me. That they meant it. After my dad passed away, my mom, a recovering alcoholic, started to drink again. We would come home from school, and she would be sitting there waiting for us. As soon as we walked into the room, the tension was so apparent.
Why is Mommy mad?
Everything's gonna be okay.
I'm scared.
I know. Go into your room, close the door, turn your music on, crank it up as loud as you can so you can't hear anything, okay?
Okay.
Promise me you won't come out until I tell you to. Promise me. Promise. As soon as my sister would go into her room, I would walk into the couch. Mom would get off the couch, and she would start to yell at me. She'd tell me things like,
Girl, you are so ugly. You are such an embarrassment to our family.
You were a mistake. Why don't you just leave? Go.
You are the reason why I drink. You are the reason my life is shit. Without you, I could be happy. Without you, I would have to take care of you, you piece of shit.
You're the reason your father passed away. If it weren't for you, he could still be here. You killed your own father.
This would happen every day. Wake up, go to school, come home, get yelled at, do homework, and cry myself to sleep. One day, before my sister could go into her room, my mom stopped her. She started to yell at my sister and say all of these nasty things to her. I couldn't take it anymore. How could she say that to her? She didn't do anything wrong. I was the one who deserved it. For the first time, I started to yell back.
You are an alcoholic ruining our lives.
You're going to hell for everything you ever did.
You are the worst mother ever. I hate you.
My father never loved you.
That was the worst mistake of my life. She told my sister to go into her room, waited until she shut the door. And then my mom started to hit me. I remember all I wanted to do was fight back, but I knew that it was just going to make her angry. She slapped me across the face and just kept punching me, and all I could do was take it. Once she was done, she went into her room and shut the door. And I just laid there crying. Everything hurt so bad, and I didn't want to move. I started to blame myself for everything, for my mom's pain, for my sister's hurt, and just for being alive. Stopped talking to all my friends, and I started to feel so alone. Like no one was gonna save me. And I was living in fear every day, not knowing if I was gonna come home being yelled at or beaten. I started to think, maybe she's right. Maybe if I wasn't here, my mom could be happy. Maybe she would stop yelling at my sister. Maybe everything is my fault. One day, I went into the bathroom and I looked in the mirror, and the girl in the mirror looked nothing like me. She had black and blues all over her body, and you could see the pain in her eyes. I took the bottle of aspirin out of the cabinet to take one so the pain would go away. But this time was different, and I took the whole bottle. It's been 2 weeks since I did it. The doctors say my sister's in Bifus and my mom is getting help. I guess you could say I'm surviving. But I'm afraid of what's going to happen. I'm afraid of my mom. I'm afraid of myself. All I want is for somebody to protect me, for somebody to tell me that everything is going to be okay. For somebody to love me, make me feel loved. I need
to be positive, to not give up, to be strong.
I need
to eat, to be healthy, to not throw up.
I need
To stop, to not alive, to not have impulse.
I need
To thrive, to not give in, to live without.
I need to live, to be here, to be hopeful. I need help.
So I guess my turn. Alright, guys. I don't know where I start. My name is Hayden. What do you say after your name? I guess your age, you're 21. I currently go to Rutgers University. I'm a senior studying to be a doctor. And I'm a goddamn good student. I mean, I come to class every day, sit in the front. No matter rain, sleet, snow, when the girls wear sundresses when it's nice outside, doesn't matter. I'm always there. I mean, even on top of that, I still have friends. I live a pretty normal life. I mean, my parents, they're still together. Me and my siblings hardly ever argue. Maybe every once in a while, but siblings don't fight. But it all started to change about 6 months ago. I just started not feeling like myself. I mean, I would walk up the smallest flight of stairs and have to catch my breath at the top. And I started to lose weight. I'm guessing like, maybe I'm on a diet, or maybe I ran out of meal swipes and I just forgot, or maybe I'm hitting the gym too hard and I'm doing too many reps. And then I remember, I don't even hit the gym, so. So I went home, started to research what I had. And I found out that I could be suffering from
Anxiety.
Diabetes. Sleep apnea.
Hyperthyroidism.
That can't be right. But I still started to feel a little concerned. But nobody at the age of 21 can have a deadly disease, right? I mean, God put me on here, on this earth, to help others. I thought that was my purpose. I tried to convince myself that, hey, maybe you're just working too hard. Maybe you just need to relax. Maybe you just need a little more sleep. But then, My parents bought me a plane ticket to Florida. Man, we went out there, we had a ball, we turned up, was in there whipping it like, hey, you know, spending all types of hours a night, going on adventures. Man, all the adventures we went on. I remember waking up, facing the sand every morning. It was literally paradise. But then I started noticing these random bruises on my body. Usually when I get bruises, they come with stories. My friends always tell me, like, yo, remember last night when you did this? The stories just never came. Just waited. And the bruises kept appearing. It came literally out of nowhere. So when I got home, I made these with my parents. My parents took me to the doctors. The doctors would come in, and they would say,
You could just be a restless sleeper, bumping into the walls while you're asleep.
sure.
You could have fell or bumped into something while you were drunk in Florida. There's nothing to worry about. You'll be fine.
If they start appearing or if you start to feel worse, come back and we'll run some tests.
Cool. A few weeks later, I started to find myself completely knocked out of class. I mean, like, KO. I mean, I was getting my recommended 70 hours of sleep. I don't know why I'm tired. But I am. So, I went back to the doctors. They ran a couple more tests, did a little more blood work. They told my results would be back in the next couple weeks. I remember, literally, the next day, I got a phone call. My parents hopped in the car, dragging me along, without telling me anything. I get to the doctor's office and I said, hey, how are you doing? They started putting needles in me. I remember I started to get tested for anything and everything.
We're gonna need to run a CAT scan.
I think you need to take a few more blood tests. You couldn't find anything on the CAT scan. What about an MRI?
I think we found the problem.
Oh, wait. The problem? Wait, first of all, there is no problem. What's the problem? What could be the problem? I remember this day so well. The doctor would come in and would say,
Hey, how are you feeling today?
no, same as always.
Well, how long have you been feeling like this?
I guess I don't know, I guess.
I see.
Is there something wrong with me?
It's too early to tell. You still gotta run more tests.
Okay, stop. No bullshit. Am I going to die?
Listen, there's a good chance. The first thing I'm gonna do is send you to New York. It's a hospital where they have some of the best doctors. Some patients that have the same issue, but they make it out alive, and I believe you can too.
Doc, just tell me what's gonna happen.
You have
all I wanted to do was cry. I remember just kept asking the doctor, was the treatment going to hurt? Was I going to die? Just kept asking God, why me? Why me? There's 9 billion people on this earth and you chose me? I was the one that was supposed to help people. I was the one that was supposed to be there for people. And you chose me? No, this can't be right. Why me? It was like my life came to an expiration date. And I was now a ticking bomb. Every day, every hour, every minute, every second, bring me closer and closer to my death. My family tried to be there for me. You don't understand. They try to be there every step of the way, but being there is not the same as understanding. And when I look into their eyes, I can just see the fear. The fear that none of this is going to work. All this is a waste of time, that I'm just getting sicker. And as time goes by, I just hear the ticks and the tocks. Tick, tock, tick, tock. I don't want to die. I'm so scared. I just wish I had a little bit more time. I hope
one day I can be free. Free of this chain and to feel good again.
I hope one day to be truly happy, to forget, and to be proud.
I hope to overcome this mountain, to start anew, to be okay. I hope that I'm strong enough to push forward and to stand up for myself.
I hope that I will survive. That I'll be able to tell my story. I can help those who are down.
I hope.
It's been a year now. A lot has happened. I haven't thrown up in a year. I'm not gonna lie, the urge to throw up all my food and, that whole idea that I gotta be skinny, it creeps into my mind. But I'm getting over it. And I know it's a struggle that I'm gonna have to deal with for the rest of my life. But I know I can handle it. I'm stronger than my eating disorder. And I know I don't need to be skinny to be beautiful.
I can't believe it's been a year. I can finally say that I'm the beautiful butterfly. And I don't let my depression control me anymore. With the support of family and the help of therapy, I'm sorry. Yes, I'll always be a cutter and suffer from severe depression. But I can finally say that I'm experiencing all the emotions that I was once lacking. I'm starting to enjoy life and not worry about the little things pointing my toes or making sure my dance routine is flawless is not my priority anymore. Because I promised myself that I'm never going to let my impulse to be perfect ever control my life again.
Today, I celebrate my 1 year of being clean. I haven't taken a hit in a year. I feel so much better. I joined the basketball team again. I'm not the captain, but I'm just happy to be back. I also got a second chance at the love of my life. I guess you can say things are going better. I still have the impulse to shoot at men. I keep thinking to myself, how easy would it be to just ignore all of the aftermath and destruction I caused? But why should I? I will stay clean and healthy. I will keep control of my life, and I will no longer be a drug addict.
It's been a year since I attempted to commit suicide. And I'm so happy. I'm living with my cousins, and they give me the love and support that I was longing for. They treat me as their princess. I'm finally in a loving household and a healthy environment. And I know that I'm strong enough to stand up for myself and
then I don't have to be afraid of being hurt by anyone.
I have my cousins to love and support me.
So it's been a year that I'm diagnosed with cancer. I can officially say that I survived the year. I felt healthy and alive. I went back to school, finished up my doctorate degree. I can officially say that I am a survivor. And I want to be able to share my story with others to help them. That does not mean that I'm not scared. I'm scared. And one day, it may come back. But until that day, I'm going to enjoy every day. This is my last.
This is my story.
To tell you that you're beautiful no matter what anyone says. No matter how big or small, let them make fun of you. Just be proud of who you are and know that there's no one else out there like you.
To inform you that you don't have to be perfect. There's no such thing. You don't have to be the best in everything you do. But give yourself some slack. Be proud of what you've accomplished. Be proud of what you have done and what you will do. Enjoy the ride and don't worry about the end product.
To make you aware, there are so many monsters in this world, so many obstacles we have to face, so many dark pits. You are strong. You can defeat them. You are a survivor. Just never give up and keep on trying. Whether it's drugs, alcohol, or something else completely different, you can handle it. Just never give up.
To let you know that you're not alone. There's always somebody out there to hold you, to help you, to love you. Don't let anybody hurt you or take advantage of you. So you're in charge of your own life. Stand up for what you want and what you believe in. And most importantly, know that there's always somebody here to support you no matter what.
To give you hope. To let you know that even when things don't go your way, everything happens for a reason. Be sure to tell the people that you love them. Live life with no regrets. At the end of the day, be sure to enjoy every day as if it was your last.
This is my story.
This is her story.
This is his story.
This is your story. This
is our story.
Our story isn't over.
The story is never over. As long as you keep writing.